perfect on the year. Texas State may have something to say about that as we take a look at tonight's impact player. Salima, who are you looking for?
Well, for Texas State, it is Ryan Torres. She's a sophomore setter that has had to step in Emily DeWalt's stead. Their starting setter is out, so we're going to look to her to run the offense. And for Texas, it's Melanie Parra. Melanie has been a key component for this Texas team from the service line, passing, and defense, and we'll see if she makes her way to the front row today.
Head coach for Texas State, Sean Hewitt, took over in 2020 after 14 seasons as an assistant head coach down at Texas State. He had joined the staff in 2006, part of 11 conference championship titles, but this program, his own now, and coming off a very unique season we'll tell you about, in which they win 31 matches. Jarrett Elliott, 21st season at the helm, 825 career win percentage, 6th amongst active D1 coaches. Has to be very happy coming off that victory over Stanford, but a new opponent, new match. Third time, these two teams have gotten together in the last 6 months. Jenna Gabriel, the setter for Texas, running the offense, goes out to junior Molly Phillips for the first kill of the match.
Well, keep an eye on Molly Phillips. She's been so effective so far for Texas this season, and they really want to get her involved more and more in the offense.
Sophomore Nalani Yosia from Torrance, California, the libero for Texas, serving. Texas there with the block. It was Logan Eggleston. Now starting libero for the Longhorns, and now her sophomore season after playing all 29 matches, did don the libero jersey at points last year. That swing long. Janelle Fitzgerald, the senior from Mansfield, Texas, was a Sun Belt first teamer last year. You'd mentioned Emily DeWalt, senior setter, 3-time Sun Belt Conference setter of the year. They do expect to have her back at some point this season, hopefully for conference play as they try to make it 4 in a row, but that's significant for this Texas State offense.
It is significant, and the good thing is Ryan Torres is doing a very nice job, but you take a look there at Emily DeWalt, who is a crucial part of this Texas State team. It's tough to see her on the bench, but she's been leading and doing a nice job helping her partner out there on the court.
Yeah, Texas State has 3 captains. 2 of them will not be on the floor tonight as they try to deal with this Texas team that is looking every bit the part we saw 2 days ago. Eggleston with her 2nd kill.
Texas starting out with a clean volleyball match, serving tough, targeting who they're going after right now, but passing the ball really well.
The senior Sydney Peterson will serve. Gabriel for O'Neal on the slide.
That overpass came over, and you look at O'Neal's face, she didn't even really see the ball coming over the net. And here's that transition play. They want to get O'Neal going on that slide, and you're going to see a lot of that today.
Redshirt junior Asia O'Neal from Southlake, Texas. Talked to her after the match. She was so integral in sparking Texas in that first set comeback. Her energy was infectious.
Well, it is when you just watch her play and how excited she can get and get going, but she really can put the ball on the floor.
Sydney Peterson with the service error, so giving the ball back over to the Bobcats. Jada Gardner, graduate student in Cibolo, Texas, with the serve. O'Neal again going right at Gardner. Another point for Texas, lead at 4 in this opening set.
Jana Gabriel doing a nice job just moving the ball around right now and getting all of her hitters involved. That's going to be key for Texas, is having a lot of balance with their offense.
Gabriel, a 13 All-American last year, running this Texas offense. 12 first teamer. Just a reminder, best 3 out of 5 sets, first 4 going to 25, win by 2. Coaches' challenges are in place in this non-conference matchup. Mentioned 3rd meeting in the last 6 months. played a home-and-home series in the spring. Texas winning both 3-0. As O'Neal puts that one into the tape, and the Bobcats will get the point.
And you're going to see Jacqueline Lee go back there with a nice jump topspin serve. This is a freshman that Coach Hewitt said is really pushing his starting libero. She's a tough defensive player. He really loves the way she's playing the game.
Peterson with the reception. That ball trickles through Lauren Teske. The attacker on the swing, number 18 in black, the redshirt junior from Schurz, Texas.
And here's that nice defensive effort. And Teske just takes a little bit off of this, wants to hit a roll shot, doesn't want to hit right into that block. Smart shot.
4-1 scoring run for Texas State. Back row attack for Eggleston. Very uncharacteristic, rarely see that.
Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication, not miscommunication, just working on that setter connection, really. Eggleston tried to hit a roll shot and just hit it into the net.
So he will continue to serve. High toss. First mention of number 5 in white, junior Skylar Fields from Missouri City, Texas. Honorable mention All-American last year, coming off a 10-kill match against Stanford, but hit 139. They tried to go her way. They're trying to bounce back a little bit from that 10-kill match. At least efficiency-wise, 10 kills still pretty good.
Absolutely.
Especially in a straight set victory. O'Neal to the floor, keeps that alive and sends the ball over. Great awareness there to find that line on the dump, but nice up from Asia O'Neal to keep it alive.
And this is difficult for a middle blocker to be in that left back position. That's a smart play. You want to tip on her, but a nice pickup by O'Neal. And here's the awareness by the setter to get that ball down.
Tierney Scott was the one to put the ball in play. Skylar Fields ended the rally quick for Texas.
I like where Skylar Fields is attacking the ball right now. The middle back is shading a little bit to the left, more to the center of the court. She's just going high over the top, down the line, into that little seam area.
Gabriel serving. Third serving error we've seen from the Texas side. Thus far, the 8 points on the board for the visitors. 3 off kills, 5 off of errors from Texas, including those 3 from the service line. Right side, Jada Gardner with the kill.
Really nice transition play. On the right side, perfect dig. And Gardner, explosive, can get on this ball quick. See her find that room between the seam.
Talked about the job Torres is doing. Nice back set there as well. Part of this 8-3 scoring run. That ball will go over after the swing from Fields and out of bounds. So great start for Skylar Fields attacking wise. Melanie Pata, the freshman from Sinaloa, Mexico. And to serve. And that one, benefactor of a little bit of luck, catches the tape, dives over.
That was a crazy bounce. Normally when the ball hits the tape, it kind of trickles over. This one goes high. It confuses everyone. And a nice jump serve by Pata.
Pata played in 3 sets against Stanford, had 1 ace but 3 airs. Texas loves what she offers serving-wise. Really is an all-around player as well as they continue to integrate her as that block attempt goes out of bounds.
Teske with another smart swing off the hands, off of the block of Butler.
Texas State coming off a match in which they won 3-0 over Rhode Island to get their first victory of the season. This is closing out a 7-match road trip to start the year. They played a couple of really good teams, Kentucky, Ohio State, across that journey. They went 3-1 against Ohio State, 3-0 against Kentucky. But probably very excited is Coach Hewitt to be back in Texas.
Absolutely. He said they've been battling. I mean, they really have battled and through some of these injuries and players that have been out. So he's pleased with how hard they're playing. Just got to get some W's under their belt.
We saw him talking there to the aforementioned Emily DeWalt. That hitting air goes long. Texas now to a 2-point advantage. We'll see it to serve. Going down the line, Janelle Fitzgerald.
I really like how Torres is keeping them in rhythm, in system, and she's doing a nice job running this offense right now. Here's that play. This is an out-of-system set, of course, by the libero, but moving the ball around, and Fitzgerald gets on that.
Torres had played 36 of their 141 sets last year. Big shoes to fill, obviously, with the 3-time Conference Setter of the Year out. They're doing a very good job early on in this match. Great awareness by O'Neal.
Really nice job. Asia O'Neal just stays at the net, waits for it. You see that set coming over the net, but she takes care of it, throws it right back down.
A 6-2 run for the Texas Longhorns. Once again, Asia O'Neal on the slide. The connection with Jenna. Rams, their win since 2016. SFA atop that list. No surprise, Texas there, but then tied with Texas State with 129. They got 31 last year, Salima, and that was part of the conversation you had with Coach Hewitt. They had played both the fall, the spring. They played a long season. He said after the season was over, that ended with a 3-0 loss to Nebraska in the NCAA tournament, said, I don't want to see you players anymore. Let's take a little break so we can all retool. It was a very long season.
It was I mean, they played 40 matches between those two seasons, really. I'm air quoting them. That was a long time, and they needed some time. But that's something you think of as a coach. And then you go back, was it too much time? Should we have played? It's really, really hard. This has been a really tough challenge for all the coaches to figure out how to manage this COVID season.
There's Eggleston on the roll shot to get the kill.
Eggleston's mixed up a couple of shots here, and this ball's coming from very, very far away, but I like how she stays off the net, gives herself some room, lets that ball get in front of her so she can see it and hit that roll shot.
First team All-American last year, just named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. The preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, earned that nomination last year. Eggleston there to keep that ball up. Fields on the swing and the kill.
There's a couple of big defensive efforts, but this is the dig that was sent over the net. And Gabriel, of course, always taking care of things at the net. And I like how Logan Eggleston lays out for that ball down the line. It's a really nice transition play.
9-3 to have a 17-12 advantage. Coming off a big win on Sunday, hosting Stanford in front of a packed house. They're winning straight sets. It's a familiar foe. That ball catching the tape. Swing was from Tierney Scott. Texas continues their run after the Texas State timeout.
Looks like Cabello's in.
Jenna Gabriel sitting down. Naomi Cabello, the sophomore setter, in wearing 24 in white in that front row. Range underneath to set this ball for Fields. Skylar Fields, match-leading 5 kills on 6 swings, no errors.
Well, this started with an excellent block touch. It looked like it may have been going out of bounds, but not only did Yosia play it, she played it perfectly right to Cabello.
Eggleston serving. Texas deals with the back row attack, defense to offense, ended by number 5. Once again, Skylar Fields.
Cabello setting a really nice ball to Fields right now. The rhythm is there. She's got good contact on it. She's able to hit this ball with so much heat that they can't even control it on the other side of the net.
Naomi Cabello came in last spring, played in all 15 matches in the spring portion. She had a season-high 10 assists versus A&M. Number 6 in the 2020 recruiting class. An ABCA Under Armour All-American in her prep days. From Clermont, Florida. Mom played middle blocker for the University of Puerto Rico. What does she bring to Texas different than what you may get from Gabriel at the setting position?
Well, it's a different. She's a little bit bigger at the net, so sometimes it's a blocking sub, but she can run a really nice offense. This is an experienced setter that has played a lot of high-level junior club volleyball, and she just needs to really continue to get comfortable with the team and running the offense. But Coach Elliott's really pleased with how she's been playing.
Yeah, stands at 6'1" compared to Gabriel's 5'8". On the back set for O'Neal. Texas State there with their block to influencing that one off the shoulders of Fields.
Texas State doing a nice job keeping that ball alive and controlling their touches as well. Trying to get their middles going as much as possible. Got Tierney Scott there hitting out of the middle.
3 players with 2 kills each for Texas State. Fields continues her match high.
Point, Texas!
Getting number 7 there on 10 swings.
We talked about Cabello. This is a tight pass again with a big setter. She can go up and get this ball and still set a perfect ball to the outside to Fields.
Texas now hitting at an even 500 as Asia O'Neal with the serve.
Point, Texas State. Serving number 3.
Teskey getting the point there.
Teskey's a smart player. You know, you're not watching her just crush balls over and over again, but she's moving it around, hitting roll shots, tooling off the block, and really being smart with her game.
I think we've seen more balls go over on 2 in this first set than we did all of Sunday thus far, as an ace for the Bobcats. Tierney Scott.
This is a tough serve. You're going after that seam between Peterson and Fields. Excuse me, Eggleston and Peterson, and that's a really tough serve. Now they move Eggleston out of the passing pattern.
Cabello back on the bench for Texas. Jenna Gabriel back in at the setting position. She'll head back to serve after that error. From Honolulu, Hawaii. Texas there with the block. Breon Butler. Molly Phillips on that right side defensively.
You talk about a tough serve, forces that block over there, and when you've got these two set and in place, we say this all the time, that's a big block and a hard one to get around.
Breon Butler, the senior, standing 6'4" from Kendleton, Texas. To connect. Let's talk about the middles for a second. We knew, talking to both coaches in that Stanford match, that would be a point of emphasis. How did Texas's middles do in the Stanford match?
Well, I think they did okay. I think they would like to continue this connection with Butler. I mean, it hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been that. What you see right there is stuff that they're still continuing to work on. Stanford didn't get their middles going nearly as they normally would. They played really well against Florida. But Texas right now wants to get those middles involved.
That's easy money for Breon Butler right there.
And here's that heat from Fields that forces this overpass. And Butler just cleans it up.
Set point for the #1 team in the country. Gabriel trying to keep track on where the padding was and the cheerleaders.
She was off by a couple feet. She was leaning, so I think she thought she was right at the bleachers. Here she is. Oh, she's got to stay on the surface. Tried to make a play on that. Good hustle.
Yeah, you don't want to put the shin into the bleachers.
Nah, that hurts.
Still set point. Texas scrambling. Free ball coming for the Bobcats. Back row for Fields.
Skylar Fields is everywhere right now.
Yosia brings it up, but ended.
This is a fun rally to watch. A lot of excellent defensive plays on both sides. Here's that hustle by Yosia. My goodness.
So Texas wins the point.
Pro have them run some offense through her as well out of the back row.
Texas hits 433 to Texas State's 114. Saw 3 service errors and a couple attacking errors that led to a Texas State run, but Fields mentioned the match high 7 kills. Melanie Pata loses that one into the net. Let's talk Texas State side of the net. We mentioned missing pieces. 2 of their 3 captains, their leading setter as well, 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year, not available tonight. What'd you see that you liked from their side in the first set?
Well, I like how they're handling the ball and actually moving the ball around. Their distribution is really good. They're just not able to score right now against the Texas block or defense. But they're doing everything they want to do, digging balls a little bit up and down, passing okay, but just trying to find the floor right now is a challenge.
Kayla Granado, senior from Round Rock, Texas. Libero for the Bobcats with the serve. Good start for the visitors. First 2 points, but giving that one back is Nalani Yosia, her counterpart. Will now serve.
See if she goes jump topspin. I think she's or jump float.
Big rip. Eggleston there defensively. She'll get it back offensively. Texas there with the block in the middle, bothering the shot.
It's a nice read by Phillips, making that move, getting all the way in with O'Neal on that attack.
I think the one word that really pops out for Molly Phillips right now, versatile. Coach Jarrett Elliott has talked so much about her volleyball IQ, but they ask her to do so many different things. Seems like she can do it all.
She can. She does it all well, and she was a middle, so her vision's really good. She knows how to move, handles the ball just like that. A perfect pass to transition. My goodness. That's an impressive play. A nice, easy touch by the big right side, controlling this and then getting back for the attack.
Phillips last year played in all 29 matches. She's 4th in the Big 12. You talk about playing the middle position and hitting percentage at .347, but now moving her a lot to that right side as Texas goes out of the middle. Phillips, the junior from Mansfield, Texas, such high praise. Coach Elliott talking of her, unlike really any other player who's been around.
And it wasn't just her volleyball. He said she's such an amazing human being. He just loves being around her and her energy and what she gives to the team. She's just such a giving human being.
That ball taken off the Texas block for the point. But yes, Coach Elliott saying Molly always puts a smile on his face, playing the game differently than most right sides. She's grown height-wise as she's come on campus. They said she got in at 6'1", standing at 6'4" now as she tries to go down the line.
Phillips trying to turn that ball, drop that hand down, the wrist down. That's what she does well. She comes in, looks like she's going cross court, turns it away from the block, just missed that one a little bit down the line.
Phillips, one of the captains on this team, as Eggleston puts that right into the heart of the floor.
And I like how Eggleston just taking a little bit off of it. She sees the space on the floor that's open and available, and she knows she can just go up and snap over top of it and score in the middle of the court. Here's the serving by Texas, and you'll watch their offense, or they're really splitting their attackers, keeping an eye on, it's not a normal serve-receive pattern or where they're sending their attackers on Texas State, and that's why they got themselves in a little bit of trouble there. They had one option, and it was the middle in front.
Sydney Peterson losing the serve there, but it may not have been reflected in the big ace numbers, but that was a pivotal moment in the match. Peterson serving and broke down the service zones. The pressure she was able to put on Stanford, keep them out of their offensive rhythm.
Peterson did so much. She served tough and played great defense, and that's what she brings to this Texas team. There's so many things that she does well for Texas. Her leadership as a former libero and helping Neilani Osia in her role right now. Peterson is just a big, big piece of this team.
It was Jackie Lee with that big jump serve that was out of bounds. See one serving wise from Eggleston. No tips for Gabriel on the attempt.
It was a nice play by Torres at the net on that overpass. Strong, big setter. And she's playing with a lot of confidence right now. I really like her demeanor on the court and how she's running the offense and leading this team.
Yeah, unfortunately for Coach Hewitt, at some point you will have to think about life after Emily DeWalt, who has been a staple running their setting position. So great experience that Torres is getting. As mentioned, DeWalt expected to be back, they said, at some point this season. Three-time SBC Setter of the Year, first teamer last year, ABCA, all Southwest region, just to show you the regard she is held in. As the Bobcats go to the right side, Tessa Marshall, junior wearing number 5 from Round Rock, Texas.
She thumped this ball. She got around this thing quick and got on it, showing some fire and a little bit of energy.
Yeah, looks like a good connection between Torres and her hitters. She will serve. Tight pass that Gabriel tries to do something with. Go to Breon Butler.
You see Butler running that slide attack. You're going to see that occasionally with her. That's something they want to continue to develop with her as well. Opening up the variety of her attacks, not just hitting in front like we normally see her hit in front of the setter, running that slide.
Yeah, just the 5th match of this young season. So in spite of Texas returning every major piece, still so much to work on, develop as the season progresses.
I think there was a net violation. Maybe Walker either hit the antenna with their hand, that may have been Phillips, or just someone just into the net. Let's see it here. Yeah, that was Phillips on the way out. Clipped the net.
That left hand. (9-8) here in the second set after Texas takes the opener 25-18. That middle connection there.
Really a nice run. This ball's a little bit off the net. You see it about the 10-foot line. It's nice that Gabriel's firing that ball in there, and Butler is open and available. There were a couple of those against Stanford where Butler wasn't expecting it, had to just throw it over the net. Again, that trust factor, just working, continuing to work on that.
Pata going with the jump serve. Try to bring that ball up. Eggleston with the swing. Bobcats try the other side. Yosia couldn't put enough air underneath.
Jada Gardner really going to her a good bit today. 11 swings for her and 5 kills.
Renato Long with her serve.
Coach Hewitt had talked about how they want to serve tough, and he kind of gave them the green light to really go after it serving. So you're going to see a couple of missed serves as a result, but they know they have to do that against Texas.
Yeah, I asked him what they were struggling with the most, keeping him up at night. He said serving. First weekend they missed a ton. The aces to airs, obviously. Fine line and aggression you want to toe. As Eggleston with the cut shot.
And the first touch is the one thing Coach Elliott said they really are working on, and that's the ball that you see with Yosia. She digs this ball. It's up and down. Jenna can get in there quickly and run whatever she wants.
Texas block, Asia O'Neal there. Send that ball back.
Janelle Fitzgerald, you're gonna watch her come in off of 1 foot, and they track this ball. They know she's gonna run it. Look at her from the left side, try to run that front slide. Both blockers move in. Asia O'Neal doing a really nice job reading the play.
See the blocking number 6 for Texas. None thus far for Texas State. Let's stay on serving just for one moment, because I really like the point that Coach Hewitt had brought up. He said it's the one skill in our game that you do all by yourself. Very unique.
It's very unique. You're alone with your thoughts at the service line, and really, it's that self-talk. Where are you going with the ball? I'm going to put pressure on this instead of thinking about not missing. And sometimes you see runs of missed points, and that's what happens when you're alone with your thoughts at the service line.
Yeah, you see it so many times, much like in the game of football or basketball, trying to ice the kicker, ice the shooter. That long run, you call a timeout, server goes back, and what happens?
Same thing. I mean, the same thing happens. That's the whole point of, in the middle of a run, doing that.
Speaking of Gardner, Long on her serve. Now 7 errors for the Bobcats to 6-4 Texas. Peterson. So there's one for you. Sydney Peterson with the ace paces Texas to a 4-point advantage. Already up 1-0 here in the second at home in Austin. Come on back. Match that you saw, so Longhorns playing very strong thus far. Their notable wins, they beat number 20 San Diego at the time, then number 10 Minnesota, then number 20 Stanford, so some good non-conference tests. This is one part of the schedule we did not get to see last year, going to that fall conference only slate. But it's great to see some of these teams from other conferences that the last time we might have saw them was NCAA tournament. Back in the gym, being back here in Gregory as well. That was rocking on Sunday, pretty loud here tonight as well, as Eggleston hits the kill, getting off the timeout.
Everyone's just been waiting to get back in the gym, so you see that atmosphere here in this facility at Gregory Gym.
Eggleston, once again, she had mentioned it when we talked to her after the match, how great it is to be back in here. You've been all around the country. You're still going all around the country. Put Gregory, where is it with all the other environments in our sport?
I'm going top 5.
Okay.
Top 5. There's a lot of tough environments in the Big Ten, for sure. Full facilities that are loud, but on Sunday, it was so loud, I could barely hear you. I could barely hear myself here in Gregory Gym.
Yeah, you had, when we go into review, you had people coming in to peek over your shoulder.
There's a lot going on.
Always great to be in this environment, the fan participation, the band, you see the students, shirts off, painted Texas. Back row attack, Fields with the big swing.
We talked about this a little bit before, having Skylar Fields be able to stay in the back row and hit from that position. I mean, this is something they're going to continue to develop with her, and they have the chance to do this right now. She's very, very good out of the back row. Goes hard on defense, but getting some offense out of her is huge.
Yeah, I mentioned the versatility of Phillips, but it seems like, with Fields, same thing. They ask her to do so many different things, and she's fully capable. Both seem like they can do even more, too.
Well, it's not just being capable, they want to do it. They embrace it. They want the challenge of continuing to grow as players.
Who needs a slogan? When you have Logan Eggleston to serve for Texas, 9-3 run. Largest lead of the match thus far for Texas. Cabello on the floor to set. Over there with Asia O'Neal defensively.
Texas State doing everything they can, keeping that ball alive, working on their transition, again, trying to get past the block of Texas.
If you were to come up with a slogan for Logan, there's quite a bit that you could come up with. The Big 12 Player of the Year, Big 12 Scholar Athlete of the Year as well. She's such an impressive young woman. Our conversations with her going back to last season as well, advocating for the issues happening here on campus throughout all of collegiate athletics. Social championship match, 4th time in the last 10 years, and then losing to Kentucky. But Coach Elliott said of Logan Eggleston, one of the best outsides we have ever had. But ultimately, you can be on the top without a ring on your finger. But Texas, all the major pieces back this season.
Serving number 3, Tiffany Stein.
But that a long ways away. We're still here.
Yeah, it's
match
early.
number 5 of the season. We were in pre-conference play, then conference play. We'll be right around the corner. But what to look for is Fields with the swing.
And a ball for Fields that's a little bit off the net, but she's still finding a way to score. I mean, Skylar Fields hitting 600 right now, 0 errors on 15 swings.
So check in for Texas sophomore Riley Heinrich. Diaz from Georgetown, Texas. Come in to serve. Cabello staying on the floor as the setter for Fields.
Running some different plays now, bringing Fields in. Watch her come inside the quarter a little bit, not like normal where they go all the way out to the antenna. And now they're trying some different offensive options when the ball's coming back over the net.
Heinrich playing in 11 matches, 19 sets last season. Cabello back row for Eggleston. Was Lee trying to keep that ball alive, but Eggleston will make it set point for Texas.
Peterson with the dig, and this is a nice little touch. Excellent vision by Eggleston.
Skylar Fields emphatic, the stare across the net to close out set number 2. Texas ending on a 15-5 run.
Texas playing as well as I've seen. Now they're just taking care of their side of the net, and that's why they're getting it done right now against the Bobcats.
What stands out to you?
Well, right now it's the hitting percentage. Texas playing well, hitting well, side out percentage. But Texas State is battling. They're playing as hard as they possibly can, but it's really difficult to get around the Texas block and defense right now.
Texas out blocking Texas State 8-0. Longhorns hitting .423. Safe to say that would probably be their highest hitting percentage of the season thus far, holding Texas State to a .052. Match high, 10 kills for Skylar Fields. Eggleston with 8 herself. Bobcats paced by Jada Gardner, who has 5 kills, and Teskey with 4. I didn't want to ask you while we were on camera. How many national championship matches have you been a part of?
I've been a part of 10 national championships.
So 4 for 10.
Least championship matches, Final Four.
Point, Texas State.
It's been, yeah, it's been quite a run. Yes.
Serving number 6, Kayla Granado.
Kayla Granado.
Point, Texas.
Graham Butler will sit down. Asia O'Neal coming in. Melanie Pata up front for Texas, along with Skylar Fields. Jenna Gabriel, the setter. Eggleston in the back row, and Alana Yosia, who just served.
Point, Texas State.
Jenna Gabriel ended up underneath the net on that play. And it looks like Texas has switched their lineup. Obviously, we see Potter in the front row. Looking at this 6'2", but they're just having a discussion about her being under the net.
Yeah, it was Coach Elliott for Texas that was up conferring with the official on the floor. Fields now on that right side. We saw Pata earlier with the swing from the left. It was Fields that ends the rally. She will sit down, but how about the swing here?
Well, this is what they want, to move players around and try some different lineups. They're going to need, Texas is going to need to change their lineup, create some bigger block, more offense from their team. And this is really nice to see them in this 6'2", where they're bringing in some size and have consistent size at the net.
Yeah, you had made that point prior to this match when you were breaking this one down. It's not to just get players on, but it's to work them doing specific things. Reason being what?
Well, there's a lot that could happen down the line. There's going to be a situation where they need to be big at the net all the time. So are we comfortable in this 6'2"? Is Cabello completely comfortable running the offense? Like, these are the things that are going to be important. They're going to need to go to these things at some point during the season, and they're going to work on it as much as they can right now.
Yeah, you want to have as many options as possible, right? Play as many different ways with the teams you may face. Back row, Eggleston.
Point, Texas.
Eggleston with a blast out of the back row. You got a lot of options coming at you. There's 3 out of the front row, and then Eggleston out of the back row. That is a lot, and right now you see Phillips and O'Neal will be switching around. They'll be blocking on the right or in the middle, depending on where they stay, and that's the versatility of having Phillips and O'Neal together.
When you talk that player movement, what does that do to the opponent when you're trying to scout and prepare for Texas?
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult to prepare. You know when they're in it, so you know what's coming, but it's really hard to defend. I mean, and that's why you do it. There's so much coming at you, it's hard to choose. And when they're controlling the ball like they're controlling right now, very difficult to pick where you're going to go as a blocker.
Molly Phillips from the right side.
Here's Phillips again, moving the ball around, hitting that hard seam between the block. But it's the passing right now. Texas handling the ball well. And that's why they're able to do this.
3rd kill on 5 swings for Phillips. Bobcats go to the left, and Caitlin Buettner, junior from El Paso, Texas, wearing number 10. First time calling her name attack-wise.
I like that swing high off the inside hand of the middle blocker by Buettner.
Setter Torres with the serve as Eggleston receives. Texas was scrambling. Contact's called on the Texas side. I believe the signal up top was 4. The ball on the swing had landed right in Eggleston's lap. Not sure she was anticipating that, as she'll get a swing here. Great diving play to keep it alive. Cabello Eggleston ends the rally.
I really like how Texas State is battling right now. They're digging balls, they're getting underneath everything and really laying out there into the scorer's table, just doing everything, leaving it on the floor. And that's what you know you're going to get. That's what Coach Hewitt said. They really have worked on their defense. That's been a big point of emphasis for that team so far this season. They're known as an offensive team, but he really wanted to step up their defensive efforts.
Yeah, he told us this is a team that really wants to be regarded as one of the best mid-major programs. Making that jump into the top 25, they have to improve. Their defense have to improve the blocking. They are playing better defense, but Salima, only so much time in the practice gym. We had talked about that long season and the time that they had taken off. Thought that the offense would be right there, but said it's been a little inconsistent thus far this season.
Well, it's been hard. He's had some players in and out, a couple of injuries, a meniscus with his middle, his setter's out with her arm. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. So they're doing the best they can, but again, they like how they're battling.
Mentioned winners of the last 3 consecutive Sun Belt tournaments. Second NCAA win in program history, beating Utah Valley in 4 sets. Last year's tournament, and they faced the overall 5 seed Nebraska, losing 3-0 as Eggleston ducks it over the tape for an ace.
Texas has been serving a lot of these balls just flat over the top. You see them either falling just in front of the passers or clipping the tape. So they work on this driving it flat. Not the tape serve, but when you drive it flat to the tape, you're going to get a couple of those rolls.
Team high 10 aces on the season for Logan Eggleston, Texas, with 4 aces as a team. And some offense into the middle. Tessa Marshall.
Nice transition attack by Tessa Marshall. Coach Hewitt said she had to play. She was going to be in there. She's a physical attacker, and she can get it done.
That from the left side, and Lauren Teske.
There's Teske again. Here's that dig and the out-of-system ball. Really nice step close and good vision, hitting that ball right between the defenders.
Some of that offense for Texas State. You praise Teske's creativity and the variance that she shows offensively. 9 apiece here in set number 3. Bobcats needing this to stay alive and push it to 4. Skylar Fields, something to say about that. Still match high. 12 kills.
She has not slowed down at all, and she can get it done on both pins. It's nice to see her offense from both sides of the court.
Texas working that middle connection. Gabriel to O'Neal.
Nice defensive touch by Eggleston to make that play happen. And they want to get O'Neal, obviously, in this 3-hitter attack phase. When she's in the front, it's going to be a lot more sets in the front for O'Neal.
Do it again, but timing off on that. Big swing, good up from Yosia. Eggleston back row is brought up. Potter will try to get the left hand on the ball, but hitting the antenna.
Yosia underneath that first monster swing on the side of Texas State keeps this ball alive, and I like the battle on both sides of the net.
9 digs now for Nalani Yosia. Melanie Pata. Well, let's talk about Pata on the left side. Youngster freshman. We'll see more opportunities. What does she bring there as you take a look at the swing?
Well, she's so good. She's a ton of experience, and she knows where she's hitting the ball all the time. This is a kid that has a high volleyball IQ, can see all the areas of the court, explosive attacker. So she brings a lot offensively.
Texas adding with an ace from Cabello.
I called her a kid. She's not a kid. She's a young woman.
Well, just a freshman. Played in 9 matches. did Pata, but that national team experience with the Mexican national team back in 2016, 2018 as well. Turns 19 on Sunday, so happy early birthday. Mentioned that national team experience, but the high volleyball IQ. So it looks like we are seeing our first challenge of the match. Texas State and Coach Hewitt putting down the green card. Signifying the challenge, looking at if this ball was in or out. And you can see Coach right there. No one had a better view than him, maybe even closer than the official on the floor.
For sure. He knew it. I don't know if he walked straight to the green card, but probably did.
Initial ruling on the floor was that the ball was in, so a point going to Texas, but replay, at least what we have seen, it looks like that ball was out.
I think that first angle.
Yeah, tougher from that angle, but that angle down the line, it did look like maybe about an inch.
Yeah.
Heard some great feedback on the challenge system from the NCAA. Time, we've heard about a minute and a half in the review process. We're going to see the challenges change as well come conference play. You like that change?
Yeah, I do. You see it a lot internationally. If you win the challenge, you're going to be able to keep it. They start with 2 challenges. You're going to see that in a lot of conferences, not all of them. 2 challenges, you win it, you get to keep it, and you keep it rolling. So I think that's what coaches really wanted, a lot of feedback to the rules committee, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Well,
so the call confirmed on the floor, a little surprising based on what we had seen, but that does not matter. What counts is what the officials see on the floor. So Texas will get the point. Love the reaction from Eggleston on the swing from Tyranny Scott, but a nice piece of attacking some heat on that ball.
Absolutely. Gets up quick, gets on this ball fast, and Eggleston tries to get out of the way. Actually, it hits her right in the head. She laughed a little bit about it. Sometimes that happens.
Serve goes right at her. They are trying for Eggleston.
They're continuing to work on that as well. And Texas working on their offense as they come out of this timeout.
Texas up 2-0, leading 5th in the scorebook as a kill, just as if you had the biggest swing possible on it, right?
That's it. Shane Cabello working on that tempo out of the back row. The ball's a little bit too low, and she has to manage her game, and she does it.
Texas leading by 4, took the first 2 sets, 25-18, 25-13. This after a straight set victory over Stanford. Did see it get a little closer in the 3rd set against Stanford when Texas had the majority of the momentum.
We talk about the things that Melanie Parra does well. This ball, here's that tip by Cabello, and then keep the ball going and keep the rally in play. Here's that play by Parra.
Serving for Texas. Eggleston showing the creativity in the offensive arsenal.
Really nice cut by Eggleston. That ball was tight and inside a little bit. She had to do something with it, but I like how she recycles the first one into the block to get another chance to swinging. You see her really drop that thumb down, hit inside the block.
8-2 scoring run for Texas as Pata loses 1 on the serve.
She's got a tough serve. She wants to go after it, and they really love how she brings the heat and how it comes off of her hand. Sometimes it gets away from her.
There's that fine line between aggression and the airs that you may get. Molly Phillips.
Wow.
Yeah, she just stood in the air for that one.
That set from Yosia. Everyone thinks it's coming to the outside. Here she is. You think she's going to set the left side, and she lays it back there from Phillips, who's ready.
Asia O'Neal continuing where she left off on Sunday. A career high 4 aces, huge in securing the win over Stanford, getting one there to make it 19-12. Back to back for O'Neal.
Asia O'Neal targeting that area of the court, trying to work those seams, and now you see Gardner back out of the passing pattern, and I'm sure she's still going to head in that direction.
Another tough serve leads to the overpass and the point off the redirect.
What makes her serve so tough is how she hits it flat. It's got a little bit of movement on it. It comes at you fast and just over top of the tape.
Substitution taking place for Texas State as a 12-3 scoring run. A substitution for Texas, so the hot serving for O'Neal. She'll get to sit down and Heinrich in. We saw her come in earlier. Serve a little bit. Cabello for Eggleston. That one will be a souvenir for a student.
Really nice touch by Potter here defensively controlling this ball. There's that big swing, sharp inside the block by Eggleston.
Dare I say a quiet 15 kills for Eggleston?
Well, and I think it's quiet because she's really mixing up her shots, hitting a lot of roll shots. I mean, it's like literally quiet. She's not just thumping balls tonight, just working on her whole game.
Great play there by Ryan Torres. Saw an opportunity. Go to the dump and does. Eggleston 15 kills, match high, just 1 air, 26 swings, hitting .538. Skylar Fields 12 for Texas, hitting .632. Texas as a team .450.
Texas made some subs with their now in a 5-1, keeping Fields in the back row.
Cabello sitting down, Gabriel back on. Torres to serve. Absolutely unloaded on. That ball went into the second level. Swing by Skylar Fields.
Here's that wrinkle in the offense. So they make that sub, change some things up. One, they were in the 6-2. Now in the 5-1, you've got Fields out of the back row, hitting on the right side.
2 points away is Texas from maintaining that unblemished record. Match point coming. Exclamation mark, Texas. Straight sets over Texas State.
It really doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net if you take care of your business on your side. That's been a focus for Texas, is really taking care of their game. And I really feel like that's what we saw tonight out of Texas against Texas State.
Yeah, a high level of respect, familiarity between these two teams, coaching staffs. Mentioned third meeting in the